But how about this group? They still believed in themselves, and they made it back to the big game.
Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they are back again in the big game. It's their 4th appearance, but all coming since the year 2000, Charles.
They've been in it 3 times total, right? Lost 2 prior, right? Lost once in Detroit to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Remember, Mike Holmgren was the head coach of that team. And then they lost that heartbreaker to the New England Patriots when Russell Wilson was picked off. But the win, oh, it was magnificent. That was back in the New York, New Jersey metropolitan area, Super Bowl 48. And remember, they just rolled over the Denver Broncos and Peyton Manning in that one. They'd like to have that kind of performance again in this one.
Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down. Block now to throw. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Throwing on first down is Locke. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. It's a big play there for Seattle. 48 yards.
Well, after the standard 2-week layoff, you always wonder how's your offense going to respond and come out and play here in the Super Bowl. Well, they got a great answer right there and almost a sigh of relief on that side of the field because now they've got to feel like they can use their entire playbook and game plan for this one.
Now Locke. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd down and goal. Locke. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Noah Fant, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks are on the board first here in this Super Bowl.
I thought that was a nice job there, feeling the pressure and rolling out away from it and keeping the play alive. And I think he did it with the idea that his tight end would find his way free in the end zone, and his confidence was rewarded.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 7-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. No run back here for Jones, a touchback. So here come the Patriots now on offense. The second-year man from Alabama, Mac Jones. Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing, Jones. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Understandably, pass rushers keyed up for this Super Bowl, but you can't do that.
And let's face it, no one wants to lose one of these quarterbacks early in this game. So you know they're going to be protected by the officials.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now Jones. Open man is Myers. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives, and they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds. And out now come the Seahawks. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And it is Pettigrew. He doesn't drop many of those, but 3rd down coming up.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. Two yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Anthony Miller, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks will add to their first-quarter lead here in the Super Bowl. Well, he scrambled outside of the pocket and wondered what was going to happen there. He fired a dart. That's what happened.
He certainly did. Scrambled left, looked left, and then left it in the receiver's hands with some dispatch.
In the receiver's hands, in the end zone for the score. It'll be Carson. They run for it. And he will dive into the end zone, and the two-point conversion is successful. And so they run it in on the two-point try. You know, so often, Charles, we talk about, from the offense's perspective, what you do on the two-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the two-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. Jones throw there complete to Myers. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. And we are back. Biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, and both teams ready for the start of the second quarter. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Harris running straight ahead. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before it is out of bounds. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll make it second down. They'll try the right side with Harris. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
That's swung out wide to Harris. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be fourth down. Jake Bailey on now to punt here on fourth down. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Now the ball now going back over to Seattle Seahawks offense. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that third consecutive.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And the Pats force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he's got his guys set up great now. First and goal. And the Pigs get it to the 7-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, and pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
And now a pause. It looks like we have a Patriot injured on the play. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. Lock gonna throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for a Seahawk touchdown. Noah Fant, his second touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Seahawks continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Myers connects on the PAT, and that will make this a 19-point game. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. New England's offense set to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start the drive with Harris. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Hit and drop behind the line by Shelby Harris.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now on second and 13. Jones. Hunter Henry brings it in.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
From the gun on third down, Jones. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
That was well played, but that's also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
This is fielded at the 27. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Block off of play action. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a play fake, and here's Locke. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. He's got him in. Complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. 60 yards. And the Seahawks are starting to open things up here in the Super Bowl. Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown.
Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around and you get back square so you can get everything on the throw and create the big play we just saw there downfield.
And it's no good. Well, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw. Jones. It's brought in by Harris. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now Jones, off the play fake. Pressure comes, he's taken down by the Seahawk defense. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
This is taken at the 18. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. DK Metcalf for the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit.
Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. He's got room at the 30, and they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Frankly, I don't know that this defense knows what to do anymore. Just look at their body language out there. The passing game has absolutely been relentless throughout.
So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. Time now for a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for New England. And they will need to get this passing game in gear, because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Both teams with some extra time to prepare during this long halftime break, but we're about ready to restart the second half of Super Bowl 57. So let's get back out to Arizona and Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And the half will begin with a touchback. Well, the Patriots taking over to start quarter number 3. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're able to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
No gain on the play there, second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw into the hands of Henry here. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Jones now on third down. Going deep here for Parker. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. Now it's Lockett. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Now Locke going to run a little touch pass here to his wideout. Oh, he bowls over it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Well, that'll help the old passing stats. Remember, it was a pop pass, so it's not a wide receiver run there, Charles.
I like the way that you scored it, and that's exactly how it goes into the books. But remember, he's had success throwing the ball the standard way in this game. And here, this little tap pass, it goes for good yardage, a little something extra in his repertoire.
Now Locke going to run a little touch pass here to his wideout. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. Now the Seahawks are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. So the touchdown there, and that play, the tap pass, so simple, Charles, on the face of it, but what makes it so difficult for defenses to stop?
I think it's the precision and the quickness in which the play occurs because the snap gets to the quarterback. He's essentially playing volleyball with it, just immediately just shoveling it forward. And when that receiver's at a full head of steam, if you don't take the edge away, he's got a chance to get to the corner and get upfield. If you take the edge away, that's your chance to disrupt that play.
And no disruption there, that's for sure, as it winds up 6 points. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, And I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Now a give, running left is Harris. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Open man right side, Myers. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Jones to throw on 3rd down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Henry. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. The Patriots send out their punter as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
They fake the handoff. Now Locke. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. He's got a man. Complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Pete Carroll in that familiar hands-on-knees pose. His guys will go for 2 here. It'll be Carson. They run for it. And they're just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
Well, I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Flush to it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Puna Ford, the one to get to him and drop him.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Work now for Jones and the Patriots here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Uchenna-Nwosu providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now, and it's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Returnable for Lockett. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A great return there of 22 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Get a look at DK Metcalf as this offense returns to the field. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know when that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Lock now on 1st down. Out to his left. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A great effort there. With a record 4th Super Bowl touchdown tonight. And the Seahawks get another 3rd-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Patriots ready to try again on offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Just 1 more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here at Super Bowl 57 from Glendale. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we're back in the Super Bowl. Time to decide who gets to hoist that Lombardi Trophy as we begin the 4th and final quarter of action. To throw again on 2nd down. Jones, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the side.
And eventually he's taken down here. Great coverage downfield, resulting in a sack. Uchenna-Nwosu, his 2nd sack of the night.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. DK Metcalf and the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdown.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. On play action, Lock. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. 48 the Seahawks continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the fourth. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed watching their execution throughout this contest.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And they put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Patriot offense back out, getting set to go. And their Super Bowl hopes are dwindling here in the fourth. That AFC crown from 2 weeks ago starting to seem like a distant memory. And this one just has not gone as they had hoped. Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Jones throw pulled in by Aguilar. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. Now this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
Second and 2. Looking to throw. Jones. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
They'll look to throw again. Escaping the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ballgame.
Part of my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. Get a look at DK Metcalf as this offense returns to the field. All right, how has he done it? 4 touchdowns in this contest. He's been around the end zone in particular, pretty much uncoverable.
And you know that I typically take things from a defensive perspective. I'm not going to do that this time. Let's just praise him. My goodness, 4 receiving touchdowns means he's beaten a variety of coverages throughout this game because they're not just letting him run scot-free. They're trying their best to shut him down, and he's shredding him.
I got to be honest. And that's caught inside the 35. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Here's Locke. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it,
It was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you? And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
Talk about two sides of the ball cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down. Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. First and 10 at the 38-yard line. They'll actually throw it with Locke. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. Oh, man, it's caught inside the 10. It's a big play there for Seattle. 56 yards.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
This is Carson, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And the Seahawks are the class of the NFL. Seattle wins the Super Bowl. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.